This is Chris Hero, and you're watching WGS-TV.
Hello everyone, welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer and SFX-TV. I'm the Wrestle Gamer, Double B Bungudron. No, I usually have that little title right here on the screen, but apparently Google Hangouts decided it doesn't want to work properly today. So I do apologize for that in the recording, but this is going to be the Impact Wrestling review for the week of November 5th, 2014. Has Impact Wrestling been have they been doing well, doing better as a product in whole? I'll talk a little bit about that as soon as the review is done. We open up with the Bobby Roode World Heavyweight Championship little celebration, which was interrupted by MVP Lashley and Kenny King, expectedly. MVP decides he wants to challenge for the championship. Kurt Angle puts it up to Bobby Roode, asking if it's his choice. Bobby Roode accepts, and Lashley has that look on his face like he didn't like it, kind of leaning towards the angle that TNA is going to be soon breaking Lashley away from that group of Kenny King and MVP. Apparently, from what it looks like, I guess they don't feel that the group is, really meshing as well as they wanted it to be at first. And to be rather honest, I really haven't felt that kind of a gimmick. I haven't really felt that they were showing. I could kind of understand, TNA's direction where they're going with Lashley and MVP, and we saw further evidence of that later on in the show, but I'll talk about that when we get to it. We also had the finals of the tag team tournament, the Hardys and Samoa Joe and Low Ki. Again, great match to see, but there are a couple of spots that really didn't look right, in my opinion, especially when it came to the Swanton bomb by Jeff Hardy onto Low Ki. It really looked like something went wrong on the landing, because as soon as Hardy landed, it looked like he landed on the legs of Low Ki, and it looked like something might have hurt. He might have hurt something on his knee or something, because he immediately grabbed for his leg. I'm not entirely positive as to what, if anything happened on that spot, but they also finish it with Matt Hardy and a moonsault on Low Ki to pick up the victory. So the Hardys win the tag team finals, and so they're in line for another shot against the Wolves. And if the past tag team tournament series that we've seen featuring Team 3D, the Hardys, and the Wolves are any indication of what we can expect out of the Wolves and the Hardys for the tag team championship, we should be in for something really good. A tag team wrestling classic, and that's something we haven't been seeing as of late in the wrestling industry. So look forward to a really good match. We did see a little bit backstage more of the angle of James Storm trying to recruit Davey Richards into the Revolution. That's pretty much cut and dry right there. Now, what they're doing now with Samuel Shaw, I would probably, having him turn on Gunner because of Brittany. For one thing, one person on the Facebook page last night kind of referred to Brittany as being TNA's AJ Lee, the fact that she was a crazy chick. And to a degree, that person was right. To a degree, I have to agree with them, because, it is kind of like AJ's gimmick in WWE, the crazy chick, And of course, as a former wrestler in WWE, would say I did crazy chicks. So, but it was just basically TNA reverting Shaw back to his creepy bastard gimmick, even to the point where he put the black gloves back on. I would have assumed TNA Creative did that, put it in that direction, possibly because they felt that Samuel Shaw wasn't going over as a face as well as they wanted him to be. Again, I'm just basing these off, assumptions that I've been seeing, because I really haven't been buying Samuel Shaw as a face. I really haven't. I'm not I just wasn't buying into the gimmick. Is basically what I'm saying. So, but apparently, they're going to work an angle between Gunner and Samuel Shaw, and that sleeper hold. I'm sure he has a signature move for it. One person on Twitter said it at one point, the shh, because you can actually hear him doing that while he locks in that sleeper hold. But he had it on Gunner, and then we saw a lot of tonsil hockey between Brittany and Samuel Shaw. Yeah, enough said. But anyway, second match of the evening, which well, they did introduce a new foreign wrestler. Apologize because the name and the pronunciation escapes me. I could look up the name, but the pronunciation really escapes me. So I do apologize about that. But I'll have it in the description box. You guys can count on that. But it's a new wrestler from India, so I'm really looking forward to see as to what this guy can offer. But we also saw another segment where he ran into Manic. So it looks like they're going to be trying to push him towards the Revolution with James Storm, Manic, Great Sonata, possibly Davey Richards, and now possibly this new guy from India. Well, the second match of the evening, which was at the end of the first hour towards the second hour. So basically, we didn't have that many matches on the card, but it was a hardcore tag team match with Tommy Dreamer and Devon taking on Magnus and Bram, and it just had that old school ECW feel to the match that I really enjoyed. Because when you get that kind of good old school feeling where the fans are really into the match, and it's a proper hardcore match, where they use weapons in the match, and it was just, the matchup was everywhere. It was chaotic, it was violent, and again, it had that old school ECW feel that worked for them in the late 90s, and that's exactly what we got out of Dreamer, Devon, Magnus, and Bram. I'm going to give it to all four guys when it comes to putting on a good hardcore rules match. And, even more to the point, we saw Tommy Dreamer with a kendo stick to the gut of Magnus, I do believe. Yes, to Magnus. And then they finish off the match with his traditional DDT finisher on Magnus to pick up the win. And I even said it on the Facebook coverage last night. How many times have we seen that from Tommy Dreamer over the years? And I still think to this day, WWE just completely misused him. I mean, he was an iconic figure in ECW. He was really synonymous with ECW, and they could have kept him in that direction. But apparently, Vince McMahon decided to shit all over ECW. That's exactly what he's done. And I really hope with House of Hardcore and TNA that it could really revitalize his career, because he still looks in really good shape. Just don't have him cry on the mic. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Following that, we had Rockstar Spud addressing EC3. I'm going to attempt to purchase one of the I'm with Spud t-shirts. If you guys want me to, I'll definitely do that. But it was just basically Spud, with the face turn, getting behind the crowd, getting the crowd into it, against his little new angle against EC3 and Brodus. I'm sorry, Tyrus, even though his Twitter handle is still Brodus Clay. And it was just basically EC3 and Tyrus bullying Rockstar Spud. They had Jeremy Borash, who was out there interviewing Rockstar Spud, try to step in between them. He gets slapped in the face. Rockstar Spud takes offense to that and jumps all over him. And, they were going to gang up on poor little Spud there until Eric Young came out with a steel chair to kind of even out the odds. One thing I'll say about Rockstar Spud's outfit, if you put a black light on him, he'll definitely glow. He'll definitely glow, to say the least. But yeah, it's really interesting. I like how the fans are really starting to get behind Rockstar Spud. They're really pushing him heavy as a face. Knockouts Championship was on the line, Havok and Gail Kim, and before the matchup even starts, just like they did when they put the title on Havok, they had them go outside of the ring. They were fighting before even the matchup started. At one point, they even see Gail Kim, and Havok do a spot on the stage where Havok throws Gail Kim off the stage. And I can guarantee 100% that you would never see any of the divas on the main WWE rosters, that's Raw and SmackDown, do any of these spots that the TNA knockouts do. Not even the spot they did during the match where Gail Kim kind of bounced her head off the steel steps on the outside. You'll never see any of the divas on the main roster even attempt to do something like that. See, that's how you improve your product, especially when it comes to female wrestling. That's how you do it. And it was a good, entertaining match, proving that you can be hot and talented and still improve the product. So I really don't understand why, because I don't want to get off topic too much because my time is kind of limited right now while I'm recording this. But, again, it goes to, my basic theory. Why can't we have in WWE good, talented female wrestlers that are all hot and can do amazing spots? Because it can't hurt your product. It would not hurt your product to do something like that. But it was Havok with the choke slam. She picks up the victory. So now the big question is, what are they going to do now with Havok? Who are they going to pair her up against? Who's going to be the next one to get a run at the championship? Or are they going to keep pushing Gail Kim? That's the real question of the hour. Who they're going to put Havok against next for the championship. So I'm really interested to see where that goes. As somebody ate a mushroom. But the final match of the main event for the heavyweight championship, it's Bobby Roode and MVP. Before the matchup even starts, we saw Lashley. It appeared that he was leaving, and MVP was upset about that. And the matchup in itself, Bobby Roode and MVP, wasn't that bad. It wasn't spectacular. But it was still a good main event match. Something you were really looking forward to. MVP, apparently Squire Alfie is messaging me on the Facebook. I do apologize to Alfie about that, but with my time being extremely limited, I can't have anybody else on the review, so I do apologize about that. But anyway, it was a decent matchup. Roode, I kind of figured they would keep the title on Roode for now, since they just put it on him last week. But interesting thing that would happen after the matchup would be over is the spear by Lashley to Roode, which would kind of indicate that they're going to continue the angle between them. But again, it was something I said on the onset of this review, is the fact that Lashley would ignore MVP completely in the ring, wouldn't even help him up, which kind of would be indicative of what they're now doing with the storyline of trying to possibly break Lashley away from the group of MVP, Kenny King and Lashley, because again, like I said, they weren't really a solid stable to begin with, to be honest. But anyway, that's been my review. That's my overall score for Impact Wrestling this week. Since it wasn't really a stellar 5-star show, I'm going to go ahead and give it a score of 3.5 out of 5. It was really a segment-heavy show to begin with. Again, we only had like 2 matches in the first hour, and the rest of it was just really dedicated to segments. I'm really looking forward to what they do with this new wrestler from India. Again, I do apologize for not having the name, and even if I had the name from what I saw, the pronunciation would probably escape me because I'm a redneck from Louisiana. I'm just saying. Best match of the night, honestly, I'm going to give it to Gail Kim and Havok. The knockouts have been really shining as of late for TNA, with the tag team matchup with the Hardys, Samoa Joe and Low-Ki coming in at a close second. Worst match of the night? Worst segment. I'm going to go to worst segment. Samuel, Shaw and Brittany, just because of the fact that, the turn by Shaw was kind of expected, in my opinion, especially when we saw, them pushing Brittany towards Samuel Shaw, and I was kind of figuring, no, they're going to break up Shaw and Gunner, and it was kind of expected. Plus, the tonsil hockey was just a little bit excessive for my taste. So yeah, that's been pretty much my thoughts on Impact Wrestling this week. What I want to know now from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on Impact Wrestling this week. What are your overall scores? What are your thoughts? What are your picks for best and worst match or segment of Impact Wrestling this week? I definitely want to know what you guys have to say. Be sure to put your comments in the comments section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. Don't forget to follow me on the Facebook page, facebook.com/WGS-TV. And don't forget to please subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer and youtube.com/ZFXTV Network if you haven't already. So with that being said, I'm the WrestleGamer, Double Bleed Only Woodrow, saying thank you very much for watching.